Good morning. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the story of how Crossover is helping improve organizational teams with their new WorkSmart product. Now, we all know the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. Yet, that is precisely what we do year after year. And we use words like focus and discipline. And we use those words to define strategies to drive results. But how do you increase focus? How do you become more disciplined? These are really large concepts, but they have many possible answers. Let's take a look at an example that'll kind of highlight what we're going to be talking about. The Golden State Warriors is the NBA championship right now against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they've been there for the last 3 years. But it wasn't that long ago when they were a perennial doormat in the NBA. Until their management decided they were going to do something different. They wanted to change their outcomes. They no longer wanted to be the doormat. They wanted to be an elite team. So to do that, they had to take a look at what they had been doing and change the way they had approached their business so that they could now find success. So they went out and they hired a new coach and they started doing things like looking at the success of other teams. What elements are there involved in that success? What does their management team look like? What does the coaching staff look like? What does the makeup of their team look like? And they said, how can we mimic some of those things and then take that to the next level? And their success is well documented at this point. After only a very short period of time, they went from being a doormat to being a playoff contending team. 2 years after that, they were contending for and winning the NBA championship. The following year, they made it to the NBA championship and they lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And today, they're battling for what could be their second NBA championship in just 3 years. And all of this happened because they were willing to take an honest look at the way their business was being run and then take the data that they saw and adjust their approach to their business. So that's a sports example. But what does it have to do with your business? How does this mimic what you have to go through? Well, every business is trying to find a way to improve their productivity. They're trying to get more out of their workers and more out of their activities and more out of their machinery than they've ever done before so they can be more effective. But how do you do that? You can't do that by doing more of what you did before, unless that more is better. So just like in the example of the Golden State Warriors, you've got to do something different. You've got to find significant ways to improve your current efforts. You've got to build a new mousetrap. You've got to do something different and better. But what do you adjust? How do you decide? Well, your strategy has to include understanding the elements that drive your business. And once you identify all of those elements, what can you control? And that's where WorkSmart comes in. WorkSmart gives you the opportunity to see on a dashboard all of the elements of your business that drive that business. So you can take a strategic view, a holistic view of all of those elements and how you've been doing in each one of them. So on an individual coaching basis, you can look at an individual's targets and the activities that drive them toward their targets to find out where they could do a better job to improve their productivity. You could do the same for a team, for a department, or for an entire company. You can measure them against themselves year to year. You can measure them against other departments. You can measure them against the industry. But everything that you're doing is data based. You can identify highlights and you can look at trends that show pure improvement or things that you're doing that are actually hurting your performance. So you know what to eliminate and what to spend more time on. All because you can get a view, a real-time view of data that supports the decisions that you make. The most important part about this is it's real-time data and it allows you to make real-time informed decisions. When you make informed decisions, you get better results. When you get better results, you have higher morale amongst your troops, and you have a higher propensity to drive both revenue and profitability. So that's the concept behind WorkSmart. So let's talk about your business and how we can use this in your business to make you more productive.